Hey guys, how's it going? Coming at you with a little bit different of a video today. I'm actually going to start doing these more frequently. Deck profile videos. Some I'll do on PTCGO and play games with. Some I'm going to break down like this. Probably ones that I do at tournaments and stuff I'm going to break down like this. So this is the ZoroPod list that I played at NAIC. You guys probably recognize it as Jimmy Pendarvis's ZoroPod list. We played the same list, the same 60 at NAIC. This is the ZoroPod list we came up with that we thought would be best going into the NAIC meta. So I thought I'll go ahead and break it down. I've had a couple people request for me to do a video like this and kind of just talk about why we played what and kind of break down the counts and such. So I thought, why not, if you guys want to see this kind of content, yeah, if you guys want to see this kind of content, this is what I'm going to give you. I want to kind of put out whatever content you guys kind of want to see. So I guess I'll just start this video at the beginning of this video saying if there's anything you want to see from me personally as far as content goes, what you want to hear more from me, breakdowns of decks, metas, whatever it might be, let me know in the comment section down below. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get right into this. So it is a ZoroPod deck, so we got the standard 4/4 Zork. The only thing you could really see different every here is a stand-in Zork, but it's a little awkward right now with the heavy Parallel City meta. You always want to keep your trade Zorks in play. The 3/2 Galissapod, just want to stay consistent on the Galissapod line. Some people have cut down to a 2/1 or a 2/2 at points. I actually think 3/1 is better than 2/2 because it's all about win pods, keeping win pods in play. And if you prize you want a Galissapod, that kind of sucks. But yeah, 3/2 Galissapod. We have the standard Buzzwole counters in Mew EX and Mewtwo. Nothing really different there. I know I've talked before in the past about how I think some Zoroark decks, like I think a Zoroark deck could actually be fine, just ditching the Mew and the Mewtwo, and just playing Zoroark as up. But I think in the ZoroPod list, the deck is like built to try and beat everything, so you want to try and beat everything. So you play both these for the Buzzwole matchup. Mew is just kind of good right now. It's good against Psychic Malamar. It's also good against it's good against Buzzwole. It's good against Psychic Malamar. It's another deck that it's good against, but it's kind of can't think of it right now. Anyways, it's good against those. Mewtwo. It's good against a lot of things actually. Mewtwo's actually pretty good against Ultra Necrozma if you can find your Choice Band. It sets up a 2-shot, or attack with it initially and then Choice Band a Zoroark later. So Mewtwo's actually just good. It's good to have a 1-prize attacker in decks, I think. You can use Zorua with Ram sometimes depending on the situation, but if you like prizes Zorua, you want your other 3 Zoruas to become trade Zoroark. So it's like that's kind of the problem there. So Mewtwo's just good as a 1-prize attacker. It's also very good into Buzzwole. It gives you something to send up. It's very good against Buzzgarb as well. It gives you something to send up. It's not a GX Pokemon. And in any matchup, you can kind of force the 7-prize game just by playing it in the deck. This is a count that's a little bit different than most. Is the 2 Lele. So the 2 Lele. The reason we played 2 Lele is because we wanted to play 4 Bridget. Ideally, we play 3 Lele, 3 Lele, 4 Bridget. The thought process behind playing 4 Bridget over 2 Lele is it's the same amount of outs to the turn 1 Bridget. That doesn't change. If you have 3/3, you have the same chance to open with either of them in your hand. You're less likely to open Lele and then open Bridget and then open with Bridget in your hand. You're less likely to open with the Lele and then so you're more likely to open Bridget in your hand. If you play that over the 3rd Lele. Also, and it doesn't change the counts. Like if you open Ultra Ball, ideally you don't prize both your Lele, so you can Ultra Ball for Lele, still get Bridget. Like it doesn't change your out counts. Ideally, you just play 3 Lele, 4 Bridget. But you don't have room for everything. We wanted to play a lot of techs. This list is pretty teched out. Got for healing cards, we got the 1 Max Potion. Max Potion is just we almost didn't play a healing card, and I was one of the people in our group who leaned towards no healing card, but in the end we ended up going with a Max Potion over actually a 3rd counter catcher, because we want to be aggressive with coming back from behind, counter catchers and hand stammers. I'll touch on those in a bit. But we ended up with a Max Potion. Just having a healing card over the 3rd counter catcher is what we put it over, and I'm glad we did play the healing card actually. Even though I was one of the advocates initially to not play a healing card in the deck, I'm glad we ended up with a Max Potion. Delinquent. I think Delinquent just should be played in every Zoroark deck. You have so much access to your deck. It's the only deck that can like really efficiently reuse Delinquent besides like Oranguru decks. But anything with Oranguru usually has Puzzle and Zoroark right now, so it's the same thing. Some decks play Delinquent, like you have your Sylveons and stuff that play Delinquent. But any deck that can reuse Delinquent and has more access to Delinquent just because of how many cards you draw, or with a Sylveon deck, you can just literally take it out of your deck. I think should just like Delinquent's just really good. It opens up multiple win condition avenues, from the win condition of if they have 3 cards in their hand, delinquent them to 0, to if you delinquent them multiple times, they could actually just run out of resources. So it opens up quite a few avenues for win conditions with delinquent. Bumping their stadium, allowing you to like bumping a parallel city, allowing you to bet for Pokemon. And if we didn't play Delinquent, it probably would have just been a 3rd Field Blower, but I think there's no reason never to not play Delinquent in Zoroark decks. It kind of just makes sense. I'm actually surprised it took it this long. I'm almost disappointed in myself for not being like, Delinquent should have always just been in Zoroark decks. But yeah, I think Delinquent should just be like pretty much in every single Zoroark deck. 3N, pretty standard. We wanted to play some account of draw supporters. I'll just go over the draw supporters split right now. 1 Cynthia, 1 Sycamore, 3N. I know some people have started to stray away from the Sycamore. I think the Sycamore is still really good. Having the option to just ditch cards as well as just draw those extra cards. Like when you just want a big draw, you need a lot of stuff for turn. Sacrificing, a puzzle or DC or something is definitely worth it. So I'm still a huge fan of Sycamore in not just ZoroPod, but Zoroark decks in general. We initially had 4N, but you really want the option to play a Cynthia and not shuffle in your opponent's hand when you still want to shuffle draw yourself. So the Cynthia is just better than the 4th N. We ended up with 5 because we didn't really have room for any other. The one thing to note is we don't play a Mallow, which I didn't really miss at all personally throughout the tournament. It's not a huge deal in the current meta, I feel like, to Mallow. You don't need to pull off combos. You just need to draw stuff and do stuff. And I'm a big advocate of not just because you need 2 cards on a turn doesn't mean you should play Mallow, because then next turn if you don't play a Sycamore or a Cynthia or an N, then you have that many less cards on the following turn. And you saw that many less cards on your current turn. 2 Enhanced Hammer. A little bit higher than I think the average list going into NAIC for sure. Went with 2 Enhancement. We wanted control against Zoroark decks. It's a big card in the Zoroark matchup. It's actually really good against Buzzwole early on. It's extremely good against Buzzgarb. Enhanced Hammer is super good against Buzzgarb. Like I said, it's really good against Buzzgarb. It gives you a lot of control in the Zoroark matchup, and I think this list is favored against Zoroark with the way it's built. And then it's good against Buzzwole too. Their first couple attachments are Special Energy, and you can like get Enhanced Hammer, then double puzzle for an Enhanced Hammer. It's just really nice to have that control in the early game, slow them down a bit while you try and set up your key knockouts on Octilleries and Rockruffs and such, and then slow down their Buzzwoles at the same time. 1 Choice Band. It's just not really necessary to play another one. It's nice to have the extra boost to a Riotous Beating sometimes, or like I said, it works really well with Psychic actually, the Choice Band does. There's a lot of numbers you can hit with Psychic, like in almost every matchup with the Choice Band. So that's like the best combo right there. Then we always have the late game combo of putting on a Gliscopod and K.O. and a Lele. So it's nice there as well. 2 Counter Catcher. This is mainly for the Buzzwole matchup. I mean, it's obviously going to get used in other matchup, but the point of the Counter Catcher is for the Buzzwole matchup. Chase down Rockruffs, chase down Octillery, pretty much whatever you think is the ideal target to get knocked out. They're the aggressive deck. They're gonna get prizes up on you initially. All the other matchups, it does hurt a little bit to have less Guzma in the Malamar matchups, the other Zoroark matchups. The Counter Catchers don't really help you that much there, depending on how the game is playing out. But you don't really need to be as aggressive with chasing stuff when you have the control of the Enhanced Hammers, the heavy Parallel City, and the Delinquent. You don't need to be as aggressive with Guzma chasing down stuff when you have control in other aspects of the game between, like I said, Parallel Cities, Delinquent, Enhanced Hammers. So the Counter Catchers are really good in the Buzzwole matchup specifically. Can be obviously just can be used. You're not going to stay ahead in every matchup and the rest of the matchups, but not necessary to play a heavier Guzma count to maintain control in those matchups. 4 Ultra Ball, we need to find Pokemon. 4 Puzzle at a time. We've all played Zoroark decks before. You need those in there. There's just no reason not to play it. It offers so much utility throughout a game. 3 Evo Soda, on the higher side of Evo Soda count, but we just want to stay consistent. Like I said, we want like the heavy Bridget line, or as heavy as possible on the Bridget line. That's what we felt like we could go while still trying to keep our attacks. And I would have liked the 3rd Lele. I definitely think the 4 Bridget's better than the 3 Lele. 4 Evo Soda would have been nice too, but once again, you have to have room for tech cards. If you just build your deck purely around consistency, if your opponent draws as well as you, with playing less consistency stuff, let's say we just cut our E-Hammers for 4th Evo Soda, 3rd Lele. If our opponent just plays E-Hammers and then, still sets up like 2 to 3 Zoroark on their turn 2 in a Zoroark mirror, they're just going to win because they have E-Hammers and we don't. So yeah, 3 Evo Soda was trying to keep it as consistent as possible within the within the lines of still making our deck as teched out as possible. 2 Field Blower. This is a little bit of a risky count, I feel like. 3 Field Blower is definitely what you want to play. The Delinquent helps a lot with this though, because it becomes so now we have 3 cards that remove stadiums, specifically Parallel City, which is very nice. Still would be nice to have a 3rd Field Blower. There's Garb decks, a quicker way, or more efficient way to remove Parallel City is nice. You can, blow a Parallel City, and then you can go Lele for a Cynthia, Lele for an End, Lele for a Sycamore, Lele for a Guzma. It's a more efficient way to remove Parallel City. But because we played the Delinquent, we felt fine just playing the 2 Field Blower. Parallel Cities being the big thing to get rid of. Garb decks, the current popular Garb deck being Buzz Garb, you kind of have a lot of control over the rest of the matchup with the E-Hammer and the Mewtwo. They don't really need the heavier Field Blower count. That matchup is still favored. And then this was enough to like cover the Parallel City. We felt like 2 Float Stone, once again, just trying to remain consistent and be as aggressive as we can. So having the extra mobility just does that. Being able to move our active no matter what it might be. Being able to move around our Pokemon in the middle and the late game, the middle and the late game, obviously very nice. So yeah, 2 Flow Stone for that. I already went over the supporter count. Looking at the 2 Guzma, I would have loved a 3rd Guzma, but I think the 2 counter catcher is better for the meta that showed up. The way the meta was, would have been still nice to have a 3rd Guzma. I don't know what I would ever cut from here for a 3rd Guzma though. It's not necessary. 4 Bridget, I already went over that. 3 Parallel City. We just wanted a lot of stadium control. We thought Zoroark was going to be very popular, and Malamar seems to always be popular. I don't know why. I still think Malamar is terrible. But Malamar, at least in the Masters Division, because there's so much Zoroark in Masters right now. Like, in the Masters Division, Malamar, I feel like, is actually just terrible. So we went with 3 Parallel City, heavy control in Zoroark Mirrors, heavy control in the Malamar matchups, and having the extra count of it being... If you want to have Parallel City to be a factor in the Buzzwole matchup, you kind of have to play them down early and often. You never really want to play it before they play a Brooklet Hill, but once they play their first Brooklet Hill, you kind of want to Parallel City them every turn from there on out. So 3 also helps with that as well. 1 Cynthia, I went over that in the support account. 4 DCE, obviously we're playing a Zoroark deck. 2 Grass, the one big thing here is the Rainbow Energy. The initial thought process behind why we played this is it allows us to Tapu Cure in the Mirror match. So the way the ZoroPod Mirror kind of breaks down a lot of the time is a lot of stuff will get hit but not knocked out immediately, and people will kind of run through their healing cards or try and out-heal their opponent and get a bunch of damage and play through that. And then they'll eventually start to go Guzma and take knockouts. So that's, and I use this, I played against 2 ZoroPod Mirrors at NAIC, and I was able to abuse it both times. In at least one of the games in both sets. And what would happen is they would go like, what happens is they will hit a Zoroark, and then let's say I retreat my Zoroark with Floatstone and attack with another Zoroark. They will then, instead of Guzming up that Zoroark, they will maybe Acerola their Zoroark and then hit your new Zoroark. And then I can go, okay, Guzma, Rainbow Energy, Tapu Cure. And then I heal 2 of my Pokemon. And if my Lele gets hit, I don't really care. And you try and ideally use it to play around Lele getting GX, but even if it gets GX, it's not that big of a deal. Your Zoroarks are healed. That's all you really care about. So it's, and I don't understand why. I mean, up to this point, I think a Rainbow Energy should have just always been in this deck. The Tapu Cure option is huge. It also, you can use it against, if you get Black Raid, you can go like Max Potion Cure and heal 3 of your Pokemon. Especially if you know they play the Espeon EX, you just heal 3 of them immediately, and then all of a sudden they can't pull off like an Espeon play. They don't have, it's harder for them to start to clean up knockouts because you should remove like 300 damage. So it's cool for that. You can do Sledgehammer with Mew. You can copy, another one is Dangerous Rogue with Mew. What can happen in the Buzzwole matchup is if you attack, like if you start using Mew EX early and you're carrying baby Buzzwoles, they sometimes will just ignore it to go after Wimpods or Calistopod. And then if you get the Rainbow Energy, you can use Dangerous Rogue on a Lycanroc. If they're using that to chase down Wimpods or Calistopod, that's kind of a cool. Another cool thing the Mew can do. There's numerous other things that you can use to copy with the Mew, but yeah, the main initial thought process for why it's in the deck is to be able to use Tapu Cure. It doesn't really hurt your consistency too much. I got punished by it once. I still ended up winning that game, but I only got punished by attaching the Rainbow Energy and play once. You can always just find your Grass Energy too. Like, it's not a big deal if you want to play around not playing the Rainbow. You just trade that if you see it and then look for Grass Energy. So yeah, definitely, I think Rainbow Energy should be in ZoroPod from here on out. A 1 of, maybe a 2 of, but never a 3 of. You always at least want a basic Grass Energy. I think that the 1-2 split is the ideal way to go. 1 Rainbow, 2 Grass. I don't think it should ever change from that. Yep. So that's the list. That's the list I played at NAIC. Same list as Jimmy Pendarvis, who ended up getting top 4 with it. I unfortunately lost my winning in to day 2. I hit a Hoopa deck on my last round winning in. So yeah, that's it. I hope to bring more of this kind of content to you guys, just deck profiles. I hope to be doing a lot of them on the new decks that are coming out. You got, the Rayquazas, some other shenanigans coming out of the new format. Let me know what you guys think. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. If you enjoy the content, subscribe. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I want to know what you guys want to see from me as far as content goes. What kind of knowledge you guys want me to bring to you guys through my videos. So leave a comment. Let me know if you like this video, if you want to see more of this. If there's something else you want to see more of, leave a comment down in the description down in the comment section below. In the description section, you can find links to my Twitch, Twitter, Facebook. Follow those if you want. I definitely recommend checking out my live stream on Twitch. Besides that, guys, have a good day. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back with more content soon. Peace.